Hello everyone. I recently come across a couple of very interesting sketches of tattoos that are very similar to watercolors. I thought, why not make a video on this topic? Let's try to make this type of tattoos. So to draw this work, in addition to the standard set of materials, for watercolor we need a gel pen. At the end of this video you understand why, but it all starts of a usual pencil sketch. The next stage is working with paint. Here I will use classic watercolor. First I do a uniform pink. This initial filling needs to be done quickly so that the previous paints deteriorate. The layer did not have time to set and there were no streaks for an hour. Cool moment when I remove the excess dry water. I love the brush. With this light we paint the dark areas on the bud and not too dark probably. It depends on how to dilute the paint. The core has not yet become pieces. I don't advise you to do it either because the buzz was too light and in the dark, and then we can do one interesting trick that will save time. The borders of the core need to be approached very carefully, especially if there are some wet places nearby, like at the top. And in general this new layer is not worth doing in if the pink base is wet. How strong the paint will be absorbed into the paper, it depends on the paint itself. The more cotton, the faster. I have about half here, and this is absolutely super, but I've already done it during this time. Paint over a couple of few elements. There's no mud for you. I'm just copying the spots from the reference. Now we did the usual monochromatic fill from the bottom above the dark taupe. This is the simplest technique, then it's a little more complicated. On the next petal I will make a gradient stretch, to show the transition from a dark shade to a light one. Made a dark contrasting spot. I washed the brush a little and begin to smear the border. Well, I'll paint one more petal with the usual boring fill, and then there will be something interesting. I'll start making blots. For the blood I need a lot of water. I need to fill it all up properly. Accumulates on some petal and swells. Not a very controlled process. And while you can work on the leaves, they are made in the same way as a bud. That is, paint begins to be applied evenly. Let it dry a little time and add new layers there. We change the base of the green part. I recommend taking a mixed color so that the leaves look a little uneven. It's best to take shades of light green and brown, and also greenery. I want to make stem look like a drip here, and the technology is also forming it as a stain, adding more water. And now I'm on the third round of work on enhancing the color, but first I decided to make one white drop drip on the flower for symmetry. So to speak in the village plan, I want to everything the same. Now you see one interesting moment. I will use black color, mind you, with red. This is probably not very good in the case of classical work. But there is an order for a tattoo. Tattoos are usually very saturated, not like watercolors, but still some lightness of the drawing remains. It has not lost its tenderness. Some kind of super elaboration in this case. The drawing doesn't need such a slight blurriness. It's quite suitable, and all the details of these are just a waste of time. Of elaboration and clarity we will achieve through outlining, but more on that a little later. Now in video I'll finish the last black strip. It's more convenient to use a pen because fine strokes are not needed. Maybe they just streak out the outline. You can use them to make some additional shadows and outline the pale lines of the paint in general. There's a lot more another pen